Bougie Black Brother Network.
Good afternoon and welcome to Urban Wine Life. I'm Michael, your bougie black brother. Today I wanted to talk about something a little different because I went and had a little checkup with my doctor and I was asking about, the little things that will help my health, especially getting older, your blood pressure, your diabetes and things in that matter. So one of the things that she asked, and she's very holistic, is she asked, do you drink wine? And I was like, hell yeah. So the fact that I drank wine, the biggest thing that I was looking at is what wine is the most healthiest. So the wine that's the most healthiest is the red wine. And there's reasons why there's red wine that we have here is a little more healthier than white wine. So remember, the white wine always has a little more sugar, and I have my notes up in here. But there's certain things that's in the red wine that comes from the skins of the wine that has a lot of antioxidant properties that's in there. And it helps with, which is, I didn't really know, lower the risk of type 2 diabetes, which is really good. And then they have some stuff to say prevent cancer as well. But I'm going to go with the diabetes. And there's a compound in it called resveratrol. It is resveratrol. Resveratrol. It depends on who you talk to, but those that's in the skins of the red wine, and those grapes that's on there, and it's really much healthier. So, for your blood pressure, for your for diabetes prevention, and different things in that matter. So I really wanted to be able to kind of talk to you about that because I love white wine because it's refreshing and it's cool, it's fruity, a little more fruity sometimes than red. But I sit down and I drink my red because it has a great feel and the complexities in it. But I'm telling you, you should get into the red because it's healthier. Now, which wines of the red is the more healthier? So the one thing that stood out is the Pinot Noir. So it says with the Pinot Noir, it has really, really high concentration of resveratrol in there. So if you like the Pinot Noir, and if you remember the Pinot Noirs we have, they're a little more on the fruitier, more not as complex with the woodsy, but it's a nice fruit forward. It's full. It's a medium body. It's a really good transitional wine from if you started with a lot of whites and you starting to get away from the sweetness. Pinot Noir is one of the good ones from that. And then you got the big boys, the Cabernets, the Merlots, and the Syrahs, and I'm gonna slide in the Malbecs. So all of those, even though they're different grapes, the Cabernet is made from a very tannic grapes, Merlot is made from blue grapes, and Syrah is flavored with blue currants. So really a lot of different things, but overall it's all contain a high level of something called procindinins, an antitoxin that has been linked to longevity of cardiovascular and arterial health. So that's what I really wanted to be able to say. How do I flow my cardiovascular and everything in that matter, my blood pressure, veins, whatever. I wanted to be able to do something. And if you look or read some things when it comes to the French, they drink that wine all the time and they stay really, really healthy because there's a consistent, those antitoxins is cleaning them and going through their blood and going through their system, and then they drink it consistently. And that dark skin, that dark look within those wines, it really helps you out. And you want to actually do this with a lot of anti-inflammatory food. So this kind of plays into that. So anything that's really, really tannin or tannic, those are the wines that you go to. Anything that's dry, that's another good things too. So you have a lot of dry wines that have these flavonoids. Hear that? flavonoids, 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 which are very, very beneficial to heart health and cholesterol levels. Because I had high cholesterol at a certain time, and even my blood pressure was high. So I started drinking a whole lot of wine, but no, I didn't. So I started being careful, take the stress down. I did, regularly drink my red wine and exercise and stay away from the stress. But now that you know, if there is a preference of what you should be drinking when it comes to wines, you must, or you should, must, because it's still a choice. You should be putting red wine into your diet because that's a nice addition to your health benefits. And I take advantage of it all the time. That's why every week on Urban Wine Life, we're talking about wines. And I'm not going to stop my white wines, but I'm going to always stay consistent in drinking my red wines. But that was one thing I wanted to talk about. I'm not an expert, mind you, but I did want to say there is some beneficial things that you have by drinking red wine and what's in it. So look it up. Don't just look what I'm telling you now. I have a little data. I didn't want to really go into some scientific things or speculations, because none of this is definitive. I didn't get a lot of that either, but I did want to be sure that you knew that let's go with the red wine for health reason, but let's just drink wine, everyone. So urbanwinelife.com, the Bougie Black Brother Network on YouTube, which you should be seeing this on, but if you're hearing the actual podcast, go to the YouTube channel so you can see a little more details that I've been throwing up, the definitions and names of the type of the flavonoids, the procyanidins. I didn't even spell it. Let's do that right now. procyanidins. And I'm saying that for those that's listening to the podcast as opposed to seeing the YouTube video. But check us out. All podcast downloads, Google Podcasts, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, all of them. I mean, there's a lot of them that we're on, but Urban Wine Life, check that out, or go directly to urbanwinelife.com. That's the site that'll have it. And it's not under the wine reviews. It's under the other podcasts. But if you go to the site, you can find it on there. There's a lot of interesting things that I've done on there. But thanks a lot for stopping by. I'm Michael, your bougie black brother, and we'll see you next Friday on Urban Wine Life. See you later.